welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, I am going to be putting together my first project using the June Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards for 2021. So today's spread is primarily inspired by these two negative pieces from the circle chipboard. Now, I had to take them off of the backing, so that is honestly why I'm doing this story first, because I want to get these used before I accidentally stick them to something that they shouldn't be stuck to. So in addition to the negative pieces, I also pulled out this journaling card, which has story number 1 through story number 4. And then I also went ahead and printed a bunch of photos. I believe these are printed at 2 inches in diameter. Yes, 2 inches in diameter, which is slightly bigger than the circles in the negative pieces here. So we've got some photos, we've got journaling, I've got a section of another 4x6 journaling card that I had cut when I planned this one out, the stamp set, and then I'm also using an older Studio Calico traveler's notebook, and my plan is to use this page right here. So what I'll do is go ahead and put you on fast forward while I get this spread assembled, and then when everything is done, we'll slow back down in order to finish out the video. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so jumping in my spread for today, the first thing I'm going to do is take these photos that I printed, and these are all circle photos that are at the 2-inch in diameter size. And I'm going to take my 2-inch circle punch and go ahead and punch those right out of the photo paper there. It makes it really easy when you just go ahead and turn your photos into the circle shape inside of Photoshop, because then you know exactly where everything is positioned, and it makes it just pretty simple to go ahead, stick them in your circle punch and get them cut out. So then I wanted to get these adjusted and in such a way where maybe all of the fire shots weren't together in a cluster, where all the blue wasn't necessarily together in a cluster, so where everything was spaced out enough that you would be able to, or your eye would be drawn to each of the individual photos. Once I had that where I liked it, I grabbed my negative chipboard piece there, which has the backing removed, so it is sticky. And the nice thing about that is all I have to do is set it down on top of the photo once I get it to where I want it positioned, and it will just stick to the backing. So it takes care of that adhesive part for me, which I really like about using these pieces of the kits. Once I get all 8 of those in there, I will mention also, you saw me do it there on the first one, and I will do it here again, that sometimes the circles are a little bit too big depending on where I stick them down. So I just need to trim off some of the edges to make sure that they line up with the square of that piece. Once I have that the way I like it, I'm going to go ahead and add some double-sided adhesive to the back side of these. If I were to do this again, I would recommend going all the way around the perimeter and through the middle. I think that would give it a little bit of a stronger hold. This does well enough, and it does stay well enough. It just, I probably could have used a little bit more. So I went and I added 3 strips onto mine, and then I'm going to get them positioned here into the middle of this traveler's notebook page, and then I will just stick them down. I start with the top one. And then the nice thing is once that's in place, it's really easy to go ahead and line up the second one and stick that one down as well. Next, I am going to work on the journaling side. So I took the journaling card that had story number 1 through 4 basically on there, and I printed the text on there through my printer on the computer. I am going to take my precision scissors and cut those blobs out, or they're not really blobs, they're rectangles with rounded corners. So I'm going to cut those out, and I'm leaving just a very small little bit of that peachy orange color around the outside, just to give it a little bit of a border around those pieces. So you can see them all cut out here. My original plan was to add a title up at the top. So I was going to take this polka dot piece, cut a strip of it, and add it to the very top of the page. So I'm going to cut it down here to 4 1/4, figuring that's what I would need. But when I get everything adjusted on here, you'll see I'll add a little bit of adhesive and position it. onto the page. I believe I stick one of them all the way down, and the rest of them I'm just going to very lightly put on the page because I'm not totally sure if my spacing is going to work out the way I want it to. But we'll come up with an idea, or I'll come up with an idea, I suppose, that will counter that. So originally I was going to put them all down the middle and then my title up at the top, but you'll see when I get all 4 of these stuck down that I don't really have a lot of space at the top, and it's kind of bothering me, I suppose, that there isn't a lot at the top, but there is a lot of space on the sides. So what I decided to do is to take those rectangles back off the page and to actually move them more to the right side so that they're almost in the center of the Traveler's Notebook page as a whole. That is going to give me some more space on the left-hand side where I can then add my title there instead. And I actually really like the way that it looks because it makes everything feel almost like a column. So then you've got a column of the title, a column of the journaling, and a column, or actually 2 columns, of the circle photos. So I think it just is more pleasing to the eye in that way. For my title, I'm going to grab the word delights off of the stamp set from this month's kit, and I will use my scrapbook.com premium dye ink in black to go ahead and stamp that repeated across the entire title piece, the polka dot paper title piece, which that I just cut in half, and then I'm going to layer it here in the middle and stick it down and then add my title on top. For this week's story, I decided to grab a bunch of pictures from a night when we had a bonfire. So in the summertime, we like to do bonfires with our neighbors in the backyard, and this was our first one of the season. So it was exciting. The kids were so excited to do the bonfire. And, it's just something I wanted to document, is having the first one under our belt and hopefully many, many more to come. I loved getting lots of different pictures, some of the kids hanging out by the fire, some of Erin cooking s'mores. I got a close-up of a s'more picture. And then we also have some tent cots that we like to bring out. So like when you would sleep in a tent, you have a cot to keep you more comfortable. We have some of those for the kids, and we like to bring those out when we're hanging outside all day because it gives them a place to lay down and relax when they feel like they want to do that. So I have a picture of Izzy in hers and then a picture of Jonah in his. It's just, we're really, really excited for the summer months to get here. And the bummer is that right after our bonfire weekend, the weather turned cold again. So we're right back to really cold spring weather. But hopefully the sun will come back and the warm will come back, and we'll be able to get outside a whole lot more than we've been able to lately. Last thing I wanted to do is grab my roller date stamp and add my date to the bottom of my page. And then once I have that done, I call this spread done. All right, friends, that completes my spread for today. I love, 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 love this one. I know that adding on those chipboard negative pieces definitely bulks up this album, but that's not something that really truly bothers me that much. It still totally closes, and eventually when it gets super full and it's not able to really close, I'll just tie a string around it and it will be totally fine. But I love the design. I love having the circles on the right hand and then the line of journaling rectangles, I suppose, and then my title here on the side that just says delights. I'm obsessed with this. I hope that you guys have enjoyed seeing this spread come together, and if you have, I would love a thumbs up down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you can see all of my future crafty layouts coming your way, and I will be back with some additional content here in the very near future, so keep an eye out for that. Until next time, I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye, friends.